opinions expressed in this podcast by the host and or the guest do not necessarily reflect the views of the host and or Paranormal Buzz Radio and or its sponsors. Use of any material produced by Paranormal Buzz Radio without express written consent is prohibited. Paranormal Buzz Radio will not be held responsible for you holding your knees, crying, and rocking in a corner in a puddle of your own urine, or being beheaded by a group of children in a cornfield. In fact, if you come across a group of children in a cornfield, we promise to make fun of you as you run away screaming in terror. Listener discretion is advised.
You are now entering the all-consuming realm of Shay's Paranormal Chat, where the things that are better left unsaid are actually said.
Shut up and sit down.
You're listening to Shay's Paranormal Chat. Paranormal podcasting done Shay's way. Tons of fun.
Dude, seriously?
A bit sarcastic.
Hashtag investigator, not hunter.
But always real. Don't get your panties in a twist.
Oh my god, really?
This is real, raw conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Hey everybody, welcome to Shay's Paranormal Chat with your sarcastic host, Shay, of course. And we have Mike Ricksecker, who I very well respect from Haunted Road Media. We have Shauna, who will be in and out tonight. And I am so looking forward to this. We're going to be talking shadow people. If you have any questions, make sure you please put them all caps. I'm by myself tonight, no co-host, so I don't want to miss any questions for Mike and Shauna. So here we go. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Shay, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, doing pretty well. Just I'm cooking some chicken for dinner. We're having some salads, and Shauna's over there cutting up the vegetables, and I'm cooking the chicken.
I love the fact that you can talk about this stuff. It's so easy off the cuff and cook chicken.
Absolutely. We do it all.
Yep. I try to do shout outs in the beginning because sometimes towards the end I forget. Okay. But we have Miss Jen B in the chat. We have Kim in the chat. We have my sister, my partner on investigations, and my teammate, Nicole. We have Wolf. Let's see, where else we going? I'm sure we have Matt, and there's a few other people. A lot of people message me questions instead of being in the chat, which is okay. I don't mind.
Sure.
I don't always get to them, but I know they're there, and I do my best to keep up on Messenger and chat and with the host. But I'm so used to being as Mike would say, what do you guys call it? Cheshire catting or shenanigator that I forget.
Shauna's the chat shenanigator. Donna Cheshire, she's Cheshire catting the chat is what she does. Yeah.
I'm so used to being that person that I forget to listen to the guest and watch, but I'm getting better.
There you go.
So anybody that's wondering, I've wanted to do a show about shadow people for a long time, and I finally have the opportunity to pick my own shows and do them the way that I want. And of course, who comes to mind but Mike Ricksecker? Anybody that does not know, Mike is from Haunted Road Media. Check him out on YouTube, Facebook, and Shauna and Vanessa. They're all part of these podcasts and do. But Mike gives presentations on shadow people that I actually really respect, and so of course I wanted him here.
Well, thank you for having me. Yeah, always willing to talk about shadow people, since that was one of my very first experiences, something that's been very influential in my path. So what would you like to know?
Well, I know quite a bit, but why don't we start with, so in case any guests don't know, why don't we start with, how do we word this? Might have been your first experience, it might have been your second, you're not really sure, but
Right.
start with your experience with the shadow person.
That's a good memory, yeah. Because I say it's probably my first experience. And I said that for a long time, that it was my first experience. And I was like, well, but when I was a kid, when I was younger, like around 5 or 6, there was another thing. And then, I was kind of thinking about it, a couple months ago. I was like, well, there was another little thing too that could have been. But I know for sure, the shadow person experience when I was about 8 or 9 years old. There's no mistaking that. And basically what happened was I woke up in the middle of the night, and at first it's going to sound like a typical story, but it's not. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I saw, standing in the corner of my bedroom, between the window that was on one wall and the closet on the other, was this tall, dark figure. I thought originally at that time that it was an intruder. Somebody had broken into the house, and they were in my bedroom, and they were probably going to murder me. That was my first idea. So, I tried to scream, and I couldn't. And, my mouth was open, trying to scream, nothing came out. And then this thing did the weirdest thing. It actually came up to my bed, leaned over, and then it grabbed my arms and crossed them across my body. I'm still trying to scream, can't. And then it just ran off down the hall and into the hall closet, and it was gone. Finally found my voice, found my legs, got up, ran out of the bed, and into my parents' room. Of course, they tried to tell me, as any parent would, no, you had a bad dream. That's all it was. When I knew for a fact that this thing was real, that I had actually seen it. We can get into the whole sleep paralysis bit of it at some point if you'd like to. I just want to point out that during this experience, I was not paralyzed.
You can't even see me nodding. I'm like agreeing. You can't see it though.
Yeah, I was able to move my. Obviously, I was able to open my mouth to try to scream. Just nothing came out. That was a vocal cord thing, not a muscular thing. And then I was able to turn my head and watch it run off down the hall. And by the way, my arms did cross in front of my body because the thing, picked up my arms and crossed them across my body. So. So that was my first shadow person experience. And, I had another as a kid when I was when I was 13 years old. We had moved from where we were living in Massachusetts to Ohio, which is where we were originally from. And we're just moving into the house, unpacking boxes, getting my new room all ready and all that stuff. And it kept seeming like there was somebody standing at my door, watching me, checking me out, what I was doing. And then anytime I turned to look to see who was there, it was gone. It would disappear. It would just run off. It's like, what in the world is that? Because it was, there wasn't anybody else there. It wasn't my sister or parents or whatever. And this happened several times. And so I ended up asking my mom, I was like, hey, Mom, I keep seeing this happening. And she admitted, at that time, I guess because I'm a little bit older, she's like, yeah, I've seen it too. I said, okay, well, Mom sees it. So I started calling it Tom, like peeping Tom, because that's what it would do. Like peep into my room while I was doing something, and then would take off when I spotted it. After a couple of months, it stopped. It was no longer around. So I just kind of chalked it up to, something that was there, that was lingering around, that was curious about us, deemed that we were okay, and then went about its business. And the 5 years that I was there, I never saw it again. So those are a couple of my early shadow person experiences. And then, of course, investigating the paranormal over the last however many years, I've seen a number of other shadows as well.
You've been investigating, at least 20 years?
Yeah, my first, you could call official paranormal investigation, when I was about 15 years old, and we were at a friend's house, and I didn't know anything about investigating the paranormal or being a ghost hunter or whatever. I mean, I'd read some Hans Holzer, because it was a book that my mother gifted me, but I didn't have the concept together at that point. That's what it was that he was doing in that book. I was in a small town, so Anything you could get your hands on was limited. We didn't have the internet back then. There weren't the TV shows, none of that. So, I just had an interest in the subject. And, I ate up any little bit that I could get a hold of, even, Amityville Horror, which is fictional. I was like, oh, I want to go to that house and see what happens, because it is a real house. So we're at my friend's house. My friend David and I are visiting our friend Lori. She lived in one of the older houses in downtown Worcester, Ohio. And she starts saying, well, I think my room is haunted. Of course, immediately my interest is piqued. Like, oh, okay, so what's going on? And so she's telling us about how anytime that she tries to hang something up on this one wall in her bedroom, it always falls down. It could be a couple minutes later, a couple hours later, next day, whatever. It always falls down. And then she talked about how, there's a old family cemetery in the backyard and stuff like that. So we agreed to go upstairs and check it out, see what's going on with this wall. And so we're up there, we're checking it out, trying to, I'm looking at trying to, tack something up on there. And she's telling us a little bit more about the wall and all this stuff. Nothing's really happening at first. So my friend David, and I didn't know this about him at the time, he's extremely sensitive. And he decides to touch the wall and just put his hand flat on the wall. And all of a sudden, he just turned this bright, bright red and started sweating profusely. And I was like, whoa, what the heck is going on with my friend? I'd never seen this from him before. He ended up going around the house trying to see if there were any more hot spots like that around the house. So, that's the first little paranormal investigation back in it was my sophomore year, so what was that, 1990, something like that?
Wow.
So, yeah. So, yeah, I've been investigating for a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I'm trying to decide where I want to go. Like, I said I was...
Anywhere.
I know, but I said I'm trying in my mind to keep it to shadow people, but I watched and have followed you guys for so long that I know so much that it's hard to keep it just to that, if that makes any sense.
Oh, I get it, but whatever you want to talk about is fine.
Yeah. I know you classify your dad as a non-believer, that he says does not believe in ghosts, although he has made a couple comments. But your mother gave you your first ghost book, which influenced you, I think. And if I'm wrong, tell me.
No, you're right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're right.
So has she supported you ever since?
Oh, my mother's always been... Because
your parents are religious, right?
Yeah, they are, but my mother's always been supportive of whatever I've done. My writing is something that they've been proud of ever since I started, which I started doing when I was 7 years old. I mean, my mother hung on to almost every little bit of writing that I had. There were some things that did get lost to time, but she hung on to a lot of that stuff. So it's something she's always been proud of, and even though it turned out to be ghosts, she was fine with it. I mean, she does have that interest. She's definitely more open to it than my father. She, some of these different historic locations that they go to, because they go to a lot, and that's kind of one of the ways I got into it is when we were, when I was young, and my sister and I got a little bit older, old enough to travel. We went to some of the more, historic locations, and so she'll pick up some of the ghost story books from those locations, like Ghosts of Williamsburg and stuff like that. So she does have that interest, and she likes some little spooky tales mixed in with her history. So she likes my books. She finds them really interesting. My father's proud of me from a fact that his son has done something, and so he's proud of it. And he does read the books. He's a little bit more interested in my fiction, my detective novels. Because he doesn't believe in the paranormal. He has had an experience that he told me about one time that he had, and after he got done telling it, I was just like, Dad, that's a ghost story. You had a paranormal experience. He's like, no, that wasn't it. So it's real funny.
No,
and his was with a shadow person too. Yeah, and his was with a shadow person too, so it was, kind of humorous. And then when it comes to my sister, she doesn't give one rip whatsoever.
Like, she doesn't care either way, or she just doesn't care about paranormal?
Oh, she does not believe in ghosts whatsoever. To the point where, she was criticizing. Now, St. Joseph Hospital in Lorraine, Ohio, I mean, thousands of people show up for the psychic fair there earlier this year. People that have worked there have, said it was haunted and whatever. And she used to live down the road in Elyria for a number of years. And she was making some comments on my wall one time about, I lived there for umpteen years. And I've never once heard about it being haunted. And it's like, yeah, you're just not talking to the right people. But yeah.
Yeah, Nicole and I have some siblings like that. I say siblings, even though it's probably one, but I'll say siblings so I don't call them out. But yeah. Yeah,
so it's like, I mean, let's just put it in this perspective. So,
yeah,
that psychic fair there at St. Joe's, my sister, lives about 15 minutes from there. My parents they just recently moved, but they were about an hour away. They showed up to support me and, watched the talk that I gave that day. And my sister, nope. So that's just the way she is.
Family, what can you do?
Yeah. Yeah, she's not going to be a believer in it, and you know what? I don't care.
Some, in all due credit, some people just cannot believe until they have that experience, and then it's like, boom, it hits them.
Yeah.
And when it hits her, if it hits her, she'll be like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry."
Yeah. If that day comes.
Not everybody does.
Right.
We have a couple of your, I call them your people.
Nice.
Tim.
Okay.
And there was another one. Oh, I forget now. I can only scroll so back in Spreaker, but.
Well, we have the same thing on YouTube. You can only go back so far until you lose it.
Yeah. But I don't know how to say his last name. Tim Schoon?
Oh, Tim Schoen, yeah.
Schoen, okay. He's one, and there was another one, but Robert White.
Okay, cool.
So I'm not really sure. I'm used to more conversational interviews. Everybody knows I'm new at this. I don't pretend,
Oh, you're doing a good job.
I'm not that great, but but can we go back to, I remember the Black something church, the crawler.
Oh yeah, Black Bear Church, the crawler.
And although it wasn't on video, the audio was. But I remember quite a few points being brought up we'll start with, you believe a lot like me, I think. And if at any point I misquote you or misrepresent you, speak up. I don't get butthurt. I pay attention to you guys so much that sometimes I misrepresent like what's yours, what's mine. But
no, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, I tend to try to categorize or label things so much. I have a little bit of OCD, but when it comes to shadow people, I think just like spirits, just like ghosts, there's different types. There's assholes, there's non-assholes, there's different, But I do, there's crawlers, there's lurkers, but it's just different categories of the same thing.
Yeah, and we as humans try to categorize things. That's what we do as humans. So
yeah, especially me.
Yeah. Hang on just a second.
But
we're trying to figure out the different thing. Yeah, we as humans try to, do whatever we can to categorize things. And, I can understand that with, the shadow people. It's part of us trying to learn and understand what different things are. So we think that if we categorize these things, then we can start to try to deduce what some of them are. Try to find like characteristics and mannerisms and things like that. So yeah, the crawler at Black Bear Church. I mean, that's a different kind of one where it has the properties of being dark, of being shadowy, all of that. Its arms and legs.
Does not mean it's a demon, people.
Does not mean it's a demon.
Sorry. Go on.
Yeah, it does not mean it's a demon. It is, more nefarious for sure. Because it's at least trying to scare people. Because that's what it was trying to do that night down there in Black Bear Church. I mean, it was circling us. It was throwing stuff around there. At least once. There was a plastic bottle that was down there it was throwing around. We heard some banging on metal, and there's the
Mountain Dew bottle.
Yeah, there's the Mountain Dew bottle. There's the railing down there that I think it was banging on a little bit. I got some weird electrical fluctuations on the audio.
I saw that.
Yeah, and there's no electricity out there whatsoever. I mean,
so can we pause for a second?
Yeah.
I know I'm a rude host. I interrupt.
Oh, you're fine. Your show.
So there was actual stuff going on. The Mountain Dew bottle is being kicked by nobody that's living. You have the metal banging, and you physically, at least one or two people physically see this crawler, which otherwise known as a shadow person. It's just a type. It's just a crawler, and then you get this mechanical interference on the recorder. So,
do you consider that video?
Huh?
Said you paid good attention to that video.
I do when it comes, because I had my own shadow person experience, so I paid very good attention to every single one of your shadow people.
Okay.
But yeah, I had my own experience that I still question. So yeah, anything to do with that, especially from people that I think understand and I respect, But do you think the mechanical interference was coincidental? Do you think that the shadow entity, can we call it, had something to do with it? I mean, to me, that's just too much of a coincidence, but you know what they say about coincidences.
Right. Yeah, I mean, more than likely it did. We try to say that a lot of these entities and spirits and ghosts, have a form of energy about them. We're all energy, and energy can't be destroyed. It can just be transformed. And so, when we pass on or whatever, then that energy still exists. So, it's possible, like with the crawler, that its energy was, how it was manifesting and all that, could have had an effect like that on the audio recorder. Because that is the type of, buzzing that you get when, like something like a cell phone is going off or whatever. And
it was even weirder than that. And I am considered a skeptic in the field, believe it or not, even though I'm a true believer. People consider me a skeptic, and that caught my attention. Just the coincidence of when it happened, what you guys are saying. I was like, whoa.
Yeah, I don't think it was a coincidence.
Yeah, I use terms very loosely. No, I don't want anybody to get butthurt by what is. Actually, I don't care. People get butthurt. Oh well.
There's Shauna over there agreeing with you. Yeah, who cares?
Oh yeah, that's why I said I like her. The second I heard her, there was just something, I like her. And you can tell, just like me, especially she's on video. I'm not on video. So like, not her, me. I'm talking about me right now. You can't see when I'm rolling my eyes or when I'm like, she keeps it together. Even though you know she wants to reach out and strangle somebody, she keeps it together. I'm like, yeah, she's my hero because I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I was really surprised with her on the witch show. That we did
Me too.
upside down too.
Let me tell you.
Yeah, I had to turn around and basically like poke her and prod her a little, like, "Hey, I thought you were going to talk about some of this stuff."
Yeah,
and,
but then you get into it and you see what people are saying, and I don't want to speak for her, but for me, I'm like, yeah, I'm into this. I'm going to talk about this, and then you start seeing these little snide comments over and over by different people, and it's like, why bother? You're not going to change your mind, and people are going to get butthurt, and oh well.
Oh, we had somebody come out on the Rabbit Hole show in the comments, with Vanessa, and because we
I
did
missed half of that one.
Yeah, for those of your listeners that didn't see those shows, we did a back-to-back witch show. We did the witchy stuff with Vanessa, and then we did like historic witches with just Shauna and I. But somebody came on to into the comments of the one with Vanessa, and was talking about that witches being demonic and playing with Satan and all that garbage.
Oh, that was all over that.
It was like
the other
so
one too.
400 years ago. It was ridiculous.
The other one, you might not want to, but I can speak of it. There was other comments in the first show is The Edge of the Rabbit Hole, and the second show is Inside the Upside Down, right?
Yep.
There were some people in there like comparing Satanism with somebody being a witch. And that wasn't even the worst of it. I'm like laughing, but there was other comments that got worse, and I'm like, whoa.
How did I miss all that?
Oh, go back and read your comments. Yeah, it was, yeah. And let me tell you, Cheshire Cat, Donna, did an awesome job trying to keep it together because he kept going, saying worshiping something was the same as this, and he was way off basis, and even me, I'm like, I'm biting my tongue. I'm like, it's not my show. I can't say nothing.
Yeah, you can. No, feel free to do so.
Once I tell somebody off, it doesn't end well, so I refrain. But
that's okay. That's what we have Donna for.
Yeah, she did really good. I love Donna
when we do the Rabbit Hole.
Yeah, she did really good. I can't remember the exact, so I don't want to be like quoted, but there was a couple of people that were out of line, very out of line. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
What are we saying in chat?
What was that?
I think this is the first question, and the first question I've seen, anyways. Wolf wants to know, can shadow people follow you home?
Well, yeah. Any entity, if they, if they have free will, but any entity could follow you home. I mean, I've heard stories from like my friend Kat Gash, who has a book out with Haunted Road Media. She was just visiting a historic location, very, very innocent, and just kind of walking by. And when she got home that night, it was her cats were just going crazy because of something that followed her from there. So a shadow person could too, sure. But like with us, like when we do our paranormal investigations and all that, we make a point to turn around and let those entities know, hey, under no circumstances are you to follow us home. You stay here. So we put up with about that.
I do too. Sorry, I'm in chat again. I know it's my downfall as a host. I'm so used to being in chat. I've seen enough of your shows to know what you will say about some of your guests, but I'm asking you specifically. Have you? It's like a 6-part question, so forgive me. I'm so sorry. I'm so happy to have you on the air. It's like,
you're fine. Take your time.
Have you ever been hurt by a shadow figure, or ever personally, not online, but personally known somebody that has actually been physically harmed by a shadow person?
Myself, no. I did have that one that interacted with me, manipulated my arms and all that, but it did not actually hurt me. It just did something really weird to me. But I have heard that there have been some shadow people attacks and people that have gotten hurt, scratched, what have you, from shadow people. That's not to say that all shadow people do that. And I think that's something that gets misconstrued and some misinformation out there, because I've heard people, some people that others that have written books on shadow people, and I do have a shadow person book coming out. They'll say stuff like shadow people, the darkest, the most dark, and stuff like that. And it's like, well, maybe some are, but not all. Just like with people, there's some evil people,
Yeah.
But not all. So yeah, a shadow person, can, touch you and hurt you, but not all of them do that.
So I've heard you say over and over again that you believe, for the most part, you usually describe it as interdimensional beings. Sometimes you say supernatural interdimensional beings. So can you describe what you mean by that and dumb it down for me? Like, this is me.
Okay.
Describe it like in a dumb way so I understand.
I'll try. Well, I mean, supernatural is a term we would put out there for anything that's a little bit different or above nature than what we're usually used to. Something we can't really explain within our typical realm. As far as interdimensional, I mean, you would have to believe in more than one dimension to begin with. So, well, I mean, you kind of do anyway, because we already know of 4 dimensions that we're in right now. So one dimension, which is basically a line. Second dimension is a plane. You kind of think of that like a piece of paper. The third dimension is a 3D object, something you can hold in your hand. The fourth is time, which we're currently in and we're running in. And so you always, kind of look down onto the others from the one that you're currently in. So with multi-dimensions or alternate planes of existence, these are other places, other ways of accessing the one that we're currently in. So when I say interdimensional beings, and I'm talking about like another plane of existence, for shadow people, and this is just a theory, it's just a thought, and I do reserve the right to change my mind.
That's why I like you guys so much, because you do, right. And you do admit it.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of. I mean, right now it's all theories, because it's so hard to actually prove these beings exist. So, everything that we're talking about, and it humors me when people fight over this stuff, because it's like you're talking about stuff and fighting about things that neither one of you can actually truly prove. So
exactly,
what's the bother of fighting? With shadow people, it comes down to mostly with the event that happened with me at Johnny V's, which was a restaurant in Skokie, Oklahoma. And what happened there was we were just finishing up a investigation. Everybody was kind of milling about. They're sitting at tables. A couple were out in the restaurant area, a couple other were up to the bar. I decided I was going to do a last photo sweep and kind of walk around, take some more photographs. I walk into the kitchen through the main door, and I see this like black wisp just suddenly dart across the room, and you hear this slam of a door. There's a swinging metal door that's on that side of the room, and just bam, you hear it smack into it, but it doesn't move. And it's like, what in the world was that? Because you saw the thing, dart across the room, and you heard the slam of the door, but the door did not move. And it's just a flimsy door. It's really, really easy to do, kind of poke, and boom, the thing opens. So I exclaim out to everybody, "Hey, did you guys hear that?" And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "That was in here. I was just, trying to get some photos um, and I described what happened. I started asking questions about, did you guys throw anything or, whatever.
So, for
Nobody
anybody
had done stuff.
listening, you heard it but did not see it.
Right. I heard it happen, but did not see it happen.
That happens a lot.
And, Sean was just saying that happens a lot. And it does.
Yeah.
We went over there. We start testing the door, how easy it is to just swing back and forth. And it's like, any type of like little poke on the door just made that thing fly because it was so light and flimsy. So my theory on that has become that, well, for one, obviously I scared it because I walked into the room and it just boom, took off. But perhaps on its plane of existence, it maybe saw me as the shadow or a ghost or something. It got scared. It ran off, and in its plane of existence, those doors, that door did actually move, and it made the big loud sound. And I heard that the sound of it echo and resonate from its plane of existence. I just didn't see the doors move because I couldn't see its plane of existence. So, it's highly theoretical, but that's kind of what I'm talking about when I'm referring to interdimensional beings, something that's not currently in our plane of existence, but can access it somehow.
Yeah, but you also, unlike some, I'm not going to mention any names, although I would love to, but I would be sued since I'm owner of the network. You guys also say, I don't know. I'm not going to call out teams. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. These are theories. These are opinions. These are based on my experiences. And you guys also are like, we're open to change our minds. Just tell me what happened to change my mind, which is how I look at things.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's a problem that we have in a lot of different arenas, not just the paranormal. I mean, you take a look at archaeology and history, and they get so stuck in their ways and their beliefs that when something new pops up, they try to fit it into a timeline or some paradigm that they've already established. And if it doesn't fit, they throw it out or they make something up to kind of cram it in there to make it, fit their model. And it's like, well, maybe the model's wrong.
Exactly.
Maybe you need to take a look at, if this thing that you just discovered or found is true, then that means other things from the past are different. To me, that's exciting. I don't understand why, they have to try to make it fit this model. If it's going to change, that opens up a whole realm of possibilities for new discoveries. So stuff like that excites me.
See, I love, like, you guys, when I first started listening to you guys, I agree with at least 90% of what you guys say. I'm not going to kiss your ass and say everything because I don't. But at least 90%, which in this field, that's really good.
Thank you.
But it's like I leave room to change my mind. And I listen to people that have different opinions about most stuff. Not everything, but there's certain stupid things that I just like, get the hell away from me. But I'll listen to any smart point of view that's like, okay, you don't believe in this? How about this? How about this point of view? I listen to as much as I don't believe as I do in what I believe, because I think I'm doing myself a disservice by only listening to people that I believe in. Did I explain that right at all?
I think I got it. Yeah.
It doesn't mean I'm going to agree with you, but I will listen, I will think, and I will dwell, and I will beat the shit out of every little thing you said until I come up with one opinion or the other until the next week, and I could change my mind. But for the most part,
as long as people are respectful about it, then I'm
exactly
fine. It's when people get all dramatic and start insulting each other and beating each other over the head with different things. And that's when it becomes ridiculous, all that paradrama garbage. And that doesn't need to happen, you know. And
Exactly.
people don't need to believe everything that I believe. I'm kind of like Morpheus from The Matrix when he says, you know, when Locke is sitting there saying, you know, damn it, Morpheus, not everybody believes what you believe. And Morpheus says, my beliefs don't require them to. You know, and I'm the same way. You don't have to believe everything I believe, but I'm going to believe it anyway, you know. And until something comes along that changes my mind, that's the road I'm going to take. And if something changes my mind, well, okay, then, you know, we have a new road to travel. That's fine. You know, I think I've kind of proven over the years that I've been open to changing my mind. I mean, I went from, you know, growing up Catholic to, you know, becoming a non-denominational Christian to, I don't know what the hell I call myself now, but it's certainly, you know, it changed a lot over the years. And that's, you know, usually one of the central tenets of a person is their, you know, higher power belief system. And I've been open to change on that, you know, for, you know, the last 40 years.
I also grew up Catholic, and I overall still resonate with most of the structure of it. But I still consider myself more spiritual.
Yeah.
But I still resonate with God, Jesus. I don't know if that's good or bad at this point. I'm still working on it, but
No, I would say that I would still technically call myself a Christian because
yeah.
I do believe that Jesus really existed. I think there is evidence for that. If you learn anything about the Talpiot tomb, where they actually found the remains of Jesus and his family, it's absolutely fascinating. So he lived. He was a man. He died. You know. But his teachings to me are, you know, top notch. It's like, yeah, you know, you read through not all the other garbage that everybody else included. Like I don't know what, I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes, but I have issues with Paul. You know, I think he came along after the fact and he changed a lot of things within the New Testament from what Jesus had been teaching. But if you look just at what Jesus said, I'm like, yeah, I'm on board with that. So I'll still call myself a Christian. This is very different than what your mainstream Christianity is.
Me too. I call myself a Christian because I believe in God. I somewhat believe in Jesus Christ. But most of all, I believe in morals. But you don't have to be a Christian to believe in morals.
No.
You know, just follow what is good, and who cares if you're Catholic or what, you know, whatever. It doesn't follow the morals. If you're doing something good, then it's good. If you're doing something bad, it's bad.
Yeah, be a decent human being.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's so much better than what I said.
Yeah, or like Shauna's over here saying, don't be an asshole.
Exactly. See, I say that and I get death threats. You know,
right.
people.
Really?
Yeah,
Did you hear Shauna?
No, I can't hear Shauna.
You send me those people that give you death threats.
Oh, you know, I'm kind of exaggerating a little, but not really, because I have gotten my last show. I did a show on exorcism, and I got threats of bodily harm and I don't even respond. It's like, if you don't like me, if you don't like what I'm talking about, why do you listen? I don't get it.
Threats of bodily harm because you're talking about exorcisms?
Oh, some people just don't like me because I tend to be an asshole, and that's okay because that's who I am. And if I don't believe in something, I call it out. And if you're an asshole to me, I'll call you out. But yeah, you wouldn't believe. I have screenshotted so many of these messages and put them on my page. It's like, hey, you piece of shit. Are you serious? How can you be a Catholic and believe in demons? Hello? Have you read the Bible?
Yeah, seriously.
Like,
that's what. I mean, the fear of the demons and the devils was like ingrained into me since I was a kid. It's part of growing up as a Catholic.
Yeah, it's dumb, but yeah, and they never directly say it to me. They message me. If you have a problem, put it in chat. We'll address it right now. I have no problem because, again, I can't be fired.
Right.
I do not have to be diplomatic, but I choose to be because I respect people. But yeah, when
I'm okay with French.
they're not always nice to me, but I don't believe in orbs, so I'm a horrible person. Send me.
We
You
throw
send
out most
me.
orbs. It's okay.
Yeah, you send me 16 orb videos, and I'm like, dude, it's dust, and I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Then
You saw
don't send
our
them to
orb video,
me.
right? Or
Yeah,
our orb episode. Yeah.
yeah. Don't send them to me. If you don't want my opinion, don't send them to me. I've never been secretive about that.
Yeah. People get really offended when you tell them their piece of dust is a piece of dust.
Yeah, but yet they send it to you. Why?
Because they're hoping.
They're hoping beyond hope
Yeah.
that their little photo will be the thing that breaks you.
But if my page all the time is like, Shay is against orbs. Totally. 98% of what is
Yep.
considered an orb
But over
is not
there,
an
they're
orb.
you haven't seen my orb.
Exactly. And then they're like, oh, you don't think that's an orb? Let me send you 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more until you agree. And I'm like, I'm not going to agree.
Right.
And if you think it's an orb, why do you need my approval? Me, of all people who is so little on the food chain, you don't need my approval. But
Well,
yeah, they get mad.
Yeah, it happens. You just
Yeah.
try to ignore them. I don't know.
I just block. Now I block them. At first I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you, blah, blah, blah. That was 4 years ago. Now I'm just like, yeah, block, fuck you. Done. Yeah, so you guys get the full version of me now. Usually you get the silly me in chat, but this is me. I'm like, I will respect you, but you cross that line and it's like, yeah, bye.
Oh, I have like 10 times more respect for you now, so you just dropped the F-bomb.
Oh my god, I've been trying to behave. Even though you guys have Vanessa on the show, I've been trying to behave.
No, it's great. You're freely speaking your mind. I love it.
Oh, I do. That's my issue, though.
It's not an issue. Just being honest.
Yeah. That's my yeah. I try to
Be
look at
honest with
everybody's.
me. Shay, I'd rather have people be honest with me and every other word be fucked than for people to lie to me and backstab me and sugarcoat everything and be all real nice and prim and proper about it.
Exactly. That's me. I'm like, do you know, this has turned into a Shay show here, but I get more shit because I say what I think to your face. If I don't like a picture and if you don't ask me, I won't say nothing. But if you ask me, I will tell you.
Yeah.
And I'm a piece of shit because of it. I'm like, really? But how about if I talk about it behind your back like every other motherfucker out there? Will you respect me then? Not that I care, because I'm me and I'll do what I do. But if you're up front about how you feel, they seem to kick you when you're down. I don't understand it.
Send them to me.
Yeah, if Shauna says send them to her.
Yeah, that's why I've always resonated with her.
Yep.
I really have. And, she does a much better job because we're not on video right now, or else you would understand even more, because my eye rolls are so epic. Even if I sew my mouth shut, my eye rolls say it all.
Right.
I don't even have those.
Yeah, Shauna, you don't have those. You'll be on the show and it's like, oh, I saw that eye roll.
Why do you think I'm only on Spreaker, guys? There's a reason I don't do video. I'm trying to catch up and chat at the same time because now we went off on a Shay.
Oh, that's all right.
I can't help it. I'm me.
Nope, you're all good.
Robert saying, LOL, getting a nice pic of your eyeballs. I think he means me. I'm not sure. He could mean any one of us. We have, Chuck's in the chat too.
Oh, hey, Chuck.
Chuck is saying, and if you want to know the answer to something, ask. I hate it when folks talk in the shadows without coming out to the face of the situation. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
You have something to say, bring it to my attention, say it to my face, because I don't hold back. I'm polite and I'm respectful. But if you are going to get butthurt after you asking my opinion, I'm not going to come straight out and say, I think that's dust. But if you send it to me and say, hey, Shay, what do you think of this orb? It's not a fucking orb. It's dust. And I try to be more respectful than that, but it gets to a point where it's like, hello.
Yeah, it's kind of almost like
time.
Yeah, it's kind of like you almost go into the conversation, and it's like, okay, are you really looking for my opinion, or are you just looking for affirmation? Because if it's
You're
just
not.
looking for affirmation, don't ask me the question.
And again, I'm new to this field, and by new, it's coming up on 4 years as an investigator. Anyways, to me, 4 years, that's new. So in the beginning, I'd be polite and be like, "Oh, that's very cool," and then they'd be like, "Shay said." They'd use my real name. They wouldn't say Shay. They would say my real name, which I changed real quick. Shay said, "This is a ghost." No, he didn't. No, wait. That's a cool picture. So now I'm very careful.
Yeah, it's funny. After we did the orb episode a couple of weeks ago,
I loved that episode.
Thank you. People start sending us photographs left and right. It's like, did you not watch the show?
That's dust.
I can't hear her though.
Oh, yeah, I got a bunch of pictures also. And I was just like, honestly, it's dust.
Yeah. The more you speak out against orbs, the more they send you.
Yeah.
Yeah, or it's moisture, or it's, whatever. And so far, people have been pretty nice. Be like, oh, man, I was really hoping it was something, And I was like, well, I'm just, that's my opinion. I'm about 99% sure it's dust. It is what it is. So.
And then they fight with you. Well, then why the fuck did you ask my opinion to begin with?
Right.
Sorry. I see, now you got me swearing.
We got you going. It's good.
You should have heard me on my first episode on this network with Ghost Crier. I swear, every other word was fuck. I have a dirty mouth. I'm from Massachusetts. I can't help it.
That's right.
Us massholes.
That's right, massholes. Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm trying to catch up with chat, but I'm so far behind.
So there we go.
Let's see, what else? I have a whole list of... Now I'm like way off topic here, but... I keep forgetting, you guys, we're not on video. You can't see me.
Right.
So, what time is it? Oh, it's only 9 o'clock. That's pretty good. So back to shadow people.
Shadow people, yeah.
You already said you think they're interdimensional beings. You think they're intelligent. You don't think they're residual. So, do you think they choose when to show themselves to you, or it just happens?
That's a good question. I think most times, yeah. I think sometimes they get a little caught off guard, and like that one of Johnny P's, I think I caught it off guard, and I was able to see it when it wasn't necessarily wanting to be seen. I think when they're more trying to interact with our realm, that's when we're able to see them a little bit more. And then when they're not intentionally trying to interact with us, not necessarily us, but anything around us, too, our dimension, then that's when we don't see them as much. I mean, I could be wrong about that, but just from my observations and from some of the different, people who have conveyed stories to me, that's kind of the way that I'm leaning. That we see them when they want to, not necessarily want to be seen by us, but want to interact with something in our environment.
Sorry. I am listening. I was laughing because somebody in chat, Kim, said, "Dang, I forgot to send you that 8-hour video of the dust." I was listening. I promise. Yeah. If somebody sends me an 8-hour video, number one, I'm not going to watch it. Number two, if it's of dust, I'm definitely not going to watch it. But again, I don't know if I said this on air.
A Bible pledge, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I said this on air or if it was before we hit the live button, but Mike and my sister Nicole are the only two people in this whole world that I know that sleep less than me. So they automatically get that higher respect because I know how it feels.
Yeah, it just is what it is. I would love to be able to get more sleep.
If I sleep 3 hours a night, I am happy. I'm like, woohoo, 3 hours.
There you go. Yeah, I have some crazy nights trying to get stuff done.
That's right. I always make fun of you on your live feeds. I'm like, yeah, how much sleep did you get last night?
Yeah, well, people make remarks like, man, you look so exhausted.
I wonder why.
Do.
Uh-huh.
Have a day job too?
Yeah, gotta have a day job.
Yeah, there's a reason I don't do video, other than the fact that I have a face for radio. But besides the face for radio, there's a second reason, and that's because I am exhausted. I'm in my pajamas right now. Mike's not on video. Well, we can't see each other, so I'm like, I'm in my PJs. I'm happy.
Yeah, that's all good.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of times, like Vanessa, she'll just, you guys probably don't even notice it. She's just sitting there on her couch wearing a sweatshirt.
Yeah, or in front of the couch on the floor.
Yeah, in front of the couch on the floor.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah.
Don't really even notice. I mean, she'll apologize to me all the time, as we're setting up. She'll be like, I'm sorry, I'm just in a sweatshirt tonight. It's like, fine. It's all good. Everybody loves you, Vanessa. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I put up just as many bad pictures as I do good pictures, so it's not a matter of pretending not to be ugly or pretending to be beautiful. It's just like, I'm tired. Leave me alone.
Share stuff out.
I'm reading. They're talking about 3 hours of sleep. Nicole, 3 hours of sleep. Woohoo! That's 2 full nights for her. Yeah, it's my sister Nicole. Yeah, she sleeps less than you and I put together, Mike.
That's a scary thought.
It really is, and I swear to God, it's true. She really does. Let's see. Have you ever had? Here's a good one. You have had. It's a 2-part. I'm going to ask both questions. Answer any way you want. In any order you want. Where you've had a lot of encounters with some type of shadow person. Do you think they're more drawn to people that have seen them? And the second part to that would be, have you ever gotten an EVP besides the mechanical dysfunction there that has to do with it?
Right.
Shadow person? Sorry.
Yeah. No, I got it. Those are good questions. Shoot, what was the first part? Because I had an answer, and then when you asked me about the mechanical part, it slipped my mind. Remind me of the first again?
Wait, I forget. Hold on. Wait.
Oh,
we both forget? That's horrible.
It's like I had an answer up too, and then you started asking the second part, and I was like, oh, geez.
Me too, because the second part, that wasn't even the second part of the question. It just popped in my head, and it came out.
Oh, geez. Okay.
All right, answer the second part because I don't remember. Oh, that's horrible.
I hope because I had a good answer for the first question.
It was a good question. I just forget.
It was. So for the mechanical part, kind of interesting.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, go ahead.
Before you forget again, what was the question?
Do you think people that have experienced shadow people tend to see them more?
Yeah. So my thought on that is that yes, but not just because you've seen them. It's not like one of those. Oh, now you saw a shadow person, so you're gonna forever see shadow people. I think it's you will, but I think it's because you're resonating on some sort of similar frequency as them. That
Wow.
your vibratory level is similar to their plane of existence, or whatever is going on there. Like Shauna will see more apparitions than shadow people. I'll
Yeah,
see
but
more shadow people than
Shauna, that's a whole different. Shauna, I don't want to get this wrong again. I said in the very beginning, I know if I misquote you or say something wrong, kick me in the ass. I don't get butthurt. Shauna's a medium, right? Some
um,
type of, some
she
type of.
wouldn't she wouldn't call herself a medium, but she has some medium like abilities.
That's right. Yeah,
Is
sometimes.
that a good way to put it?
I just don't control them.
She just doesn't control them.
So would she see things different than other people? That's a whole nother show. And I'm hoping to get
Yeah,
Shauna
there's
on. We just
that she
have to
picks
do it.
up on and senses and sees that's different. But when I'm talking about actual physical manifestations,
Yeah.
um, as far as physical manifestations go, she sees more apparitions and then shadows, and I'm kind of the opposite, where I'll see more shadows than apparitions, as far as like physical manifestations. And I think that's because we're resonating on some different levels there. So I guess that's maybe where I'm darker to your light and you're lighter to my dark.
Which is probably why you guys make an awesome couple. But
Well, yeah, that goes without saying.
it also just opened like 50,000 more questions for me, which will have to be for a different time because it has nothing to do with shadow people. It has nothing, but wow.
As far as the other question with the EVPs from a shadow person or what, hard to know. Because sometimes we get these EVPs and we're not sure of the source. Like, okay, we got a voice from somewhere.
Exactly.
Where did that come from? We don't know if there was maybe a shadow person lurking in the dark that we didn't see, and we got that EVP. But aside from the weird mechanical thing going on with the audio recorder, and I think that was just energy that it was picking up on. I don't know of an EVP that I have from an actual shadow person. Now, I've been on investigations where I've seen a shadow person or some shadow play or what have you, and I've gotten some EVPs during that investigation, but not sure if it came from that entity or not.
I've never even known.
I was talking with Carl Johnson about this. This is a good question because he asked.
Is he one of the twins? Is that?
Yes. Yeah. Carl,
okay. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah. Back in July when I was at Ocean State Paracon, I was talking about shadow people. He asked me the question during my presentation if shadow people have a voice, and so it was a very good question. I'd never been asked something like that before, and we ended up having a discussion about it afterward. That they may not have a voice that we can hear. That we can hear with our own ears, because he's been doing this, since I've been born. He's been doing this a long time, and he doesn't recall any time hearing about a voice of a shadow person or a shadow person speaking. Or
I've never heard of it. Well,
right,
once, but I don't know how I feel about the one time I heard about it.
Yeah, so it's kind of almost like because of how far I've gone down the road with shadow people now and all that. It was almost kind of like he was tasking me with, hey, go find out. It's like you're doing all this research on this, and it's not something that we know of right now. Nobody's ever heard of a voice of a shadow person. Go find out. And so that's one of the things. I have not seen a shadow person since then on our couple of investigations since that time. But it's something I'm going to try to figure out.
I'm telling you, I've wanted to do a show on shadow people for at least a year, and I had the chance. I'm like, Mike, I want to do a show on shadow people. You're the first person that came to mind. Would you be willing to do it? And you were like, yeah. I'm like, yay.
Absolutely.
We have a question from the chat room. the reason why I said that, I have a tendency not to finish my thoughts. I'm sorry. Is because, again, I respect you, all three of you. I think I've made that part very clear. But what you guys speak about resonates with me. Whether I agree or don't agree, that doesn't even matter, but it resonates with me. For the most part, I agree. But
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah. Question from the chat room. Wolf, do you think shadow people attach themselves to people because of their emotions? Ooh, good question.
Interesting question.
Yeah.
And I'll have to say I don't know. Because it's. Yeah, I mean, and shadow people are such a mystery, and we're still, trying to learn so many things about them. I mean, right now we've come down to like categorizing their characteristics and mannerisms and how they look and how they appear and stuff like that and actions that they've done. But that's an element of shadow people because people ask me, what do shadow people want? Why do they do what they do?
What did ghosts want? What do they do? What they do?
Right.
We don't know.
And we really don't know. I mean, we have an idea that sure, some of them are there to frighten or scare, but we don't know why. We don't know what the motive is, but we know that some do that. We also know that some just kind of stand there and they look at you. Why? We don't know. Or that one peeking in at me when I was a teenager, and then it would run off. Why was it peeking in at me? I have no idea. So, as far as shadow people attaching you because for some emotional reason, I really have no idea. But it's something that we continue to research and try to discover. I'd love to, because there are people out there saying, shadow people are that, and they do things because this. Like we are going to have no idea until we actually sit down with a shadow person and interview one and ask, hey, what exactly are you? Why do you do these things? So a lot of it's speculation, and we're trying to come up with possible reasons based on our observations.
But you guys also say that. And again, anybody that has not listened, they are Haunted Road Media on YouTube, Facebook, but they do most of the live stuff on YouTube, Haunted Road Media. Check it out. Just click on any one of their friggin' things, and you'll know why I like them so much. And I forget where I was going because I just went off in that tangent about.
Yeah, you did a station identification break. That's good.
Yeah, pretty much. I forget where I was going. No surprise, I forget where I'm going a lot of times. But, I'm checking chat right now because I forget. I rarely forget where it's going. I had a shadow person experience, and it was more of the quote unquote Hat Man experience. Okay. I don't want to get into the whole story, but I was standing across the room. I was awake and I was leaning. After so long, it actually charged at me, and I ended up screaming at the top of my lungs. Other than that, I've seen things out of the corner of my eye, but I don't count that as anything. But that one experience, I will go to my grave being the most terrified of all my paranormal experiences. It either stopped right in front of me and dissipated, or it ran through me. I don't know which.
Interesting. So I will ask you straight up, now that you've shared that experience with me, if you'd be willing to share that, have me share it as well, and maybe a few more details for the Shadow Person book that I'm writing.
Yeah.
Cool.
I thought you meant right now. Okay, yeah, hit me up. Sorry, I thought you meant...
No. I'm in the process of writing. I haven't had a lot of time to work on it lately because it's just been kind of crazy. But
oh yeah, that's just a quick version. It's the scariest event of my event, not paranormal event. It's the scariest thing that has ever happened to me in my life.
It's interesting. Of all the shadow people that I have seen, the Hat Man is one that a lot of people report that I actually have not seen.
Yeah. And this was before, believe it or not, before I actually knew what the Hat Man was, and it did have some type of hat. It was kind of a cross between a fedora and cowboy. It was somewhere in there. I can't tell you for sure. It was dark. The room was pitch black. And this was darker than the pitch black. You know, but it was scary. It was definitely, quote unquote, a Hat Man experience.
And a lot of people report that the Hat Man is one that is definitely more nefarious and will do things, just like that.
Yeah. We'll have to talk after, because I've talked about it a few times on here, but not much because people think I'm crazy. But my daughter, one of my daughters,
that's our whole. That's the whole point of the Encounters with the Paranormal book series, is that you're not.
I know.
All these different people from all different walks of life having all these different experiences. So you're not alone. You're not crazy. Other people have had the exact same thing happen to them.
One of my daughters, my kids were all very young, saw, quote unquote, shadow people. I'm calling them shadow people. They saw dark figures. One of them saw them with red eyes. I also had my arm fractured in that bedroom, a spiral fracture. So there was a lot of stuff that happened in that place. And it's not public knowledge, because I'm just like, hey, I'm a paranormal investigator, but I don't talk too much. So it's pretty crazy. And my youngest daughter is 17, so you're talking, they were really little. They had no idea what they were even saying at the time.
Right.
Tim is saying I just love HRM. Sorry, I said that backwards.
That's all right.
I'm trying to see if I missed any questions. I get nervous when I start talking about my own experiences. Did you notice that?
Yeah, you did it. But it's, once you do finally tell the story in full, and you've told it a couple times, it'll get a lot easier.
Yeah, it's just hard, because it's like somebody will private message me or something, and it's like one thing, but talk about it, it's something different. So I understand where people here's one. Yeah, I cut myself off on purpose. Lots of times animals see stuff we don't. That is also don't have a. I don't understand that.
Well, as far as animals, they're more sensitive to the paranormal than we are.
Oh, speaking of, I usually don't do this. We don't have to mention what show it was, but I saw you on a actual TV show, and you look like you were about 17. Do you know what I'm talking about?
What, The Haunted?
Is that it? Okay. I didn't want to be the first to say it, but it was about shadow people.
Yeah, they had at that house, it was Mr. Red Eyes in the closet. How old was I? I certainly was not 17. I was 30.
I think it was a haircut. You looked.
I was 37, I think.
You can't be too much older than that now.
I'm 44.
Yeah, it's not that much.
Yeah.
But the haircut, I think, made you look. You had bangs or something, I think.
Yeah, I was having a bad hair day.
Is that what it was?
I know. I distinctly remember before that interview, I was having some issues with the hair, and I kept playing around with it, and it just wasn't working right.
Tim is saying Mike doesn't look a day over 29. In my opinion, in his opinion, you don't look a day over 29. And he said, "Yeah, you definitely looked really young." I think it was the bangs that made you.
Yeah, maybe.
Wolf says very interesting. He'd like to hear more. Wolf, I share their stuff all the time on I have like 8. It's a secret. I have like 8 different paranormal pages, and only 3 of them I've known to be mine. But Wolf knows which ones are mine. I have a page that's 30,000 plus, and he's
All
on
right.
it, so he knows you guys. So I don't know why he's saying that stuff. Yeah, he's. Wolf, be more specific. What do you want to hear more about? Them? Because their stuff's all over the place. Haunted Road Media on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. No, it's Mike Ricksecker on Instagram.
Like Rick said, there is
yeah.
eventually going to be a Haunted Road Media Instagram. I just haven't gotten around to making it.
Yeah.
Because I should appreciate those two.
Everything, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, those are all Haunted Road Media. Instagram's Mike Ricksecker.
Well, there is a Twitter, Mike Ricksecker, which actually has more followers than the Haunted Road Media one. Because the Mike Ricksecker Twitter is my, technically it's my author Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Haunted Road Media, yeah.
Wolf says because you're very interested. I think he means interesting, but
yeah. Well, cool. Thank you.
You think he's interesting? You should see the girls he hangs with, because let me tell you, they're the ones that caught my attention. Nothing against you, Mike. I don't mean that bad.
Oh, that's fine. They're more interesting than I.
I just resonate with them.
I'm
Both
just here
of them.
for
Yeah. Patron. I don't understand. Everybody always says patron. They're patrons. I don't understand what patron is.
From Patreon. The patreon.com/Haunted Road Media. That is our, basically it's like a donor page where, people agree to, every month give us a couple of dollars or whatever it is. And, there's certain perks at different levels. So, like, we just released a behind-the-scenes video, something that we did not release on YouTube, that anybody that was at the $3 level and above got to see. Yeah, we do some patron-only Q&A videos out there and some different blog posts and stuff like that. So, it's pretty cool. So there's a number of people that are in the chat right now. Like during the our live stream shows, when I say thank you to the Deep Down the Rabbit Hole Patreon patrons.
Yeah, I hear that, but I never knew until now what it meant.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that tells you know what that tells me. That tells me I need to do a better job of explaining what the heck that is.
Maybe. I don't mean that bad, because I've been listening a year and a half, but I'm also dumb. I'm not the smartest. So other people could get it, and just not me.
Oh, you're fine. No, the next time I'll just see what happens. I'll try to make it a little more clear as to what exactly that is, and because it's, I guess, we throw it at the end of any of the uploaded videos, like the Friday Night Ghost Frights. We'll put up the splash page for anybody that's the Deep Down the Rabbit Hole. That's the highest level. They also get their names at the credits of our uploaded videos.
Yeah, see, I don't get to watch those when you put them out, and as soon as they're over, I hit exit because.
Right, so it's the very last couple seconds. Yeah, so the last couple seconds.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to I'm trying to help the patrons. I don't want you end credits, but I've heard it on Edge of the Rabbit Hole or Deep Down, whatever the other one is.
Yeah, Inside the
Upside Down. So Tim's saying I'm not dumb. That's just because he doesn't know me. I'm just trying to help, yeah. But I don't want your credits. So if it explains it at the credits what it is, that's why I missed it.
Well, yeah, and I've been trying to clean up the end of those videos a little bit so that it just kind of rolls right into it all. It's at the end where we kind of finish up the video. We throw up the end cards with the other videos you can click into, where there's a subscribe button, and then Right after that, it'll show the list of the Deep Down the Rabbit Hole Patreon pages, where we say thank you to those that have supported us and have helped make a lot of these videos possible.
See, now I get it. I'm sorry. That sounded so rude. I did not mean it as bad as it sounded.
It wasn't rude at all. You just genuinely did not know. It's okay.
Yeah, that's all I meant. I'm now like blushing and scanning through the chat to see if I missed any questions, which I'm sure I did. I should have known what Patreon meant, but I didn't quite get it.
Yeah, a lot of YouTube creators have started using that. YouTube, in response, implemented their own version of it called sponsorships, but you can't start using that until used to be 100,000 subscribers. Now they've lowered it to 50,000. We're just coming up on 10,000 right now, so we're not even close to that.
Yeah.
We'll continue using Patreon for a while.
Wow.
But yeah, like the last thing that we just did there, the behind the scenes video that we just posted. We had just posted a paranormal investigation video of the 217 Terror Haunted House,
which was awesome. Anybody that has not seen it, watch it.
Yeah. So at the end of that investigation, it was just kind of like a throw-in at the end, like, "Hey, can you show us the basement?" Because the basement predates the house. The house, when Shauna's father lived in it, had been in a different location, and they ended up moving the house from where it had been onto this older foundation. That foundation dates back to 1796. And so, we wanted to check it out. And so the bit that we uploaded to Patreon is our little walkthrough of the basement.
That was I said, yeah, but I just want to double check it. That was a haunted house.
Yes.
Right?
The haunted house, yes.
That you did last year, too. All right. Once I said yay, I was like, wait a minute. Let's make sure I'm talking about the same thing. Okay.
Yeah, you're saying yay for
I saw that in last year, so.
Yep, we investigated that last year. It's something that changed for this year because the state fire marshal came into play and said, hey, if you're going to have this haunted house, we need you to put in a sprinkler system, like a commercial sprinkler system.
Yeah, I kind of understand, kind of don't.
Yeah, I understand it to a degree. They're kind of like, well, it's a house. Can we just put in a residential one? I mean, also the fact that the community, because it's out in the middle of nowhere, can't support a commercial system. It just wouldn't work right. And Adam,
that's the whole thing. The underground things that things won't.
Yeah. He was kind of explaining to us that if they even got the money to put in a commercial system, it wouldn't work properly because the water would just if there was a fire, an actual fire, the water would just kind of drip straight down and not do anything to cover the room. So it'd be pointless. So they're battling with the state over that to try to come up with some alternate means and what have you. They've had the backing of the community, like the mayor and the local fire department and all that stuff. So is
it too late to help? Because I saw you or heard you speaking of that. Is it too late to help?
Right. Well, their season is over. Halloween has ended, so they're not having any more haunts out of there. So as they go into the off season, it's kind of up in the air as to what they're going to do about it. So there's a possibility they're going to tear down the house and put in a pavilion that has some open air, so they don't have to put in a sprinkler system. And we're hoping they don't go down that route. If this was something that I knew about last year, everything seemed. This is something that came up during the summer. I think he said it was 3 or 4 weeks before they were set to open the haunted house. It would just been a couple months ago. We would be talking about, okay, what in the world can we possibly do for we do the books, the Encounters of the Paranormal series to help support those endangered historic haunted locations. So we'd love to be able to do something similar for 217 Terror Haunted House. Just book right now is out of the question because we can't. It's not immediate enough.
Exactly.
something quicker than that. So I know some people said that they'd be willing to help with like fundraisers and stuff like that. Like our friend Kim Whitaker jumped on that. She's like, yeah, I'd be willing to fundraiser. So,
a couple things. Number one, if you find out information that needs to be shared, I'm the right person to go to. Again, I was kind of being funny, but most of the pages that I own, people don't know they're mine. So
apparently neither do I.
Yeah. No. There's 3 pages people know I own, and the other 5 that are the big ones, people don't know I own, and I'm going to keep it that way. But let me know.
You're not that person out there that says that they're from Sweden and owns about 20 pages, are you?
No.
Okay.
No. I'm only on 8.
You're only on 8. Okay.
Yeah. It's like Facebook's a fucking almost full-time job. It's like, oh my God, give me a break. But anyways,
I mean, are they all different paranormal topics, or are they all like, one's ghost and then one's cool ghosts and the other is, apparitions?
One's my fan page. Oh, how about one's my fan page? Shay's Paranormal Chat. One is my team page. One is Paranormal Buzz Radio. And then there's a couple others that are just fan pages that I never attach my name to, that I still do, and I don't know how to say it without sounding like stupid. I have a couple bigger pages that I'd rather not say are mine because
no, you don't have to say the name of the page. Just I'm interested in the subject matter, how the subject matter differs between the pages.
Yeah, at least 6 of them are paranormal. Different paranormal topics.
Okay, different paranormal topics. There we go. Gotcha.
So, but, I don't know if that makes sense.
No, that's cool. Got it.
Yeah. I like you said, I've been in this for a very short time, and some people treated me really badly when I first came into this field. So I kind of stayed in the shadows, and the past 3 years I kind of decided to come out more. And so I'm happy with the 3 public pages that I have that I claim, and the other ones are the ones that people either like or they don't like, and it has nothing to do with whether they like me or not like me, or want to be on a podcast and not be on a podcast, or want me to make them stuff or not make them stuff, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
I know that sounds dumb to some people, but if you know me, you know what I mean. People use me a lot.
Yeah, you don't want to be used.
Yeah, so my sister Nicole's asking, who treated you badly, even though she probably already knows. Anyways, where were we? That went way off topic, sorry.
Shadow people.
Yes. Sorry about that. Anyway, oh no, that's my whole point. If you need stuff shared, let me know, because I share to my pages, other pages, especially when it comes to fire stuff, because, as you know, well, I don't know if you know, my house burnt down 1.5 years ago. I lost everything, including 5 pets.
About that, yeah.
So that is a very big topic of mine. So I go above and beyond for fire safety.
Yeah.
That was where I was going, and I went way off course. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, as far as sharing, I would just say share everything. So I tell everybody, please share.
Yeah, which I do.
Yeah, there's only so much that we can do ourselves, before it starts looking like, spam. So, yeah, if everybody jumps on board and just shares out to their social media, and like everybody does, and that's part of the point of the we have that White Rabbit notification squad, and Donna runs that page.
Yeah.
The whole idea of that is when we go live or we upload a video or something like that, that the White Rabbit Notification Squad, because YouTube has issues with getting out those notifications to everybody. And so since that gets missed by YouTube sometimes, or a lot of times, then the White Rabbit Notification Squad is basically people that have said, yes, we will share out Haunted Road Media's stuff. And so when we go live or upload something, they notify everybody, hey, Haunted Road Media just came out with something. Here's the link. Go check it out.
Which was a great idea, especially since at the time YouTube sucked on notifications.
Yeah,
so you took it and ran with it.
Yeah, they've been getting a little bit better, but
they have.
At a point in time, they were. Well, I mean, YouTube's offices were putting out videos trying to explain to people how the notifications work, and because people were just complaining left and right about it. So
I get all your notifications now except for the premiere.
Yeah, I think that premiere didn't. Did you not get it?
I didn't the week before either, though. I know what you're going to say. Sorry, I interrupted you. I'm so rude.
That's okay. Yeah, premieres. I mean, they're very new for YouTube, so there may be some issues they're ironing out with that. I know my other account, my other YouTube account, got the notification. I think it messed up because almost nobody got the notification on Wednesday. But I had set up when I finally got done setting up everything I needed to make that video go live. It's I was working so hard trying to get it out for Halloween that when it sends out the premiere notifications, it's 30 minutes ahead of time. Well, I got that video done and everything like 35 minutes ahead of time. So it may not have been enough time for YouTube to say, oh, there's a new video that's over here that wants to do a premiere. Let's get everything ready and send out the notifications, all that. There may not have been enough time for it to do all of that stuff. So, because everybody was saying that they weren't getting the notifications that night. So, but a lot of people did tonight. They were getting it. So,
I didn't get one tonight either. I saw you on Facebook, but I didn't see the YouTube one.
Well, and that's why I decided to keep doing that. I mean, it's a lot of back and forth between the Facebook.
Again, not your fault. I don't mean it that way. I just mean to keep you updated.
Yeah. Well, I like the idea of, and it was Sean's idea. I like the idea of going live before the show, kind of previewing it a little bit, and then hitting the button and making it live for everybody. And so I think YouTube doing that is fantastic. I was waiting for premieres to come out. It'd been in beta for a while, and there's a lot of talk that it was only going to be available to those that had 10,000 or more subscribers, which is one of the reasons why I was like, let's get to 10,000, everybody, because I wanted to be able to use premieres. Because it's exactly what we've been doing with on Facebook for months now, where I would go live on Facebook and say, hey, here's what's going on with the new Friday Night Ghost Fright. As soon as I'm done with this live here on Facebook, I'm going to hit the publish button. But then you're counting on everybody to suddenly just go to your YouTube channel, where now it's like, on the Facebook part, I'm still doing that, but now I have a link where you can actually go right to that particular video. I have 30 minutes to tell people, go there, go there, go there. And then on the YouTube side of it, there's already a chat room set up. We're all in there chatting and talking about what's coming up. And then we get to continue chatting and all that throughout the play of the video. So it's a really cool experience. And I'm very happy YouTube came out with that.
I am too. What's his YouTube? Their not just his, but their YouTube is Haunted Road Media. And I highly recommend it. I really do. You don't hear me saying that much, but I highly recommend Haunted Road Media because I agree with 89, at least 90% of what they say, but even what I don't agree with, they make you think. And that, thanks, Nicole. Nicole put it in chat.
You said it several times now, you agree with 90%. What's the 10%?
I couldn't even tell you, but I'm just saying it to be safe. Honestly, okay. I swear to God, I can't think of one thing I don't agree with you on, but I'm sure there's something. It has to be.
Gotcha. Okay. It's just because you threw it out there, and I'm like, I'm wondering what she doesn't agree with us on.
I honestly cannot
there's
think
human
of.
nature right there. There's human nature right there. Instead of focusing on the,
Yeah.
9%, I'm like, what's that 10%? What is it?
Yeah, but it's my fault because I said it a couple times. For me to say, people that like truly like in person know me, even people that know me online, but people that know me in person, for me to say I agree with these 90% of the time, that's a huge fucking thing. That's like, to me, I'm like spreading positive stuff, but to you, you're like, what's that 10%?
Yeah.
I honestly, off the top of my head, I swear to God, on my kids' lives, I can't think of one thing I don't agree with you guys on, but I'm sure there has to be something.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you reserve the right to disagree with us on something, just like I reserve the right to change my mind on.
Yeah, I do too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that same thing. So I'm like, yeah, this is how I feel today, but convince me something else, and I could change my mind tomorrow. I'll be up all night thinking, what don't I agree? What don't I agree? What don't I agree?
Yeah, and by morning you'll be like, I don't agree with him on anything.
No. People that don't listen to podcasts, people that don't, I've recommended you guys. I say you guys because I consider it the three of you guys. I know it's two different shows, two different, but it's Haunted Road Media. In my mind, is three of you: Shauna, Vanessa, and you.
Right.
So I could be wrong, but that's what I mean by you guys.
No, it is. Haunted Road Media is. Yeah, basically, it's almost like an umbrella organization because there's so many different pieces of it. So it encompasses the shows. There's the YouTube part of it, which has its different pieces. Yeah, there's the show with Vanessa, Edge of the Rabbit Hole, which started off as a podcast, as a radio show, and we ended up moving it to video almost 2 years ago now. So the Haunted Road Media channel existed before Edge of the Rabbit Hole. But so, yeah, we have the whole video production side. We do all of the other, investigation videos and the Friday Night Ghost Frights and all that stuff. And I've been doing that for 7 years. The Haunted Road Media channel's only existed for 4, but I've been doing that for 7. And I was playing around with, making videos and stuff before that. My actual first YouTube upload was in 2007 on a different account. So it even predates that. But as far as paranormal stuff, that's been since 2011. So there's that part of Haunted Road Media. And then there's the book publishing. So, we're a book publisher, not just my stuff, but a lot of people's stuff now. We have
you just
3
had
more
a new book come out, right?
This week. Yeah, we just had Encounters with the Paranormal Volume 4 come out, which part of the proceeds of that will go help out the Fairy Plantation, which got featured in tonight's video on witches. It's the biggest one that we've done so far of the Encounter series, and we're really excited about it. A lot of people submitted their own personal paranormal experiences, and a lot of them were longer stories, too. A lot of more great artwork from Adam Tillery. He does the illustrations for the books, so really happy with it. And we have 3 more books due out before the end of the holiday season coming up here. So we have a lot of stuff going on the book side, too, which has kept me very busy. So there's that. There's what I call the investigative arm of Haunted Road Media, which our actual paranormal investigation team name is Society of the Haunted. And that was originally formed in 2011. It was long before I met Shauna. Back when I used to live out in Oklahoma. And, we were a small team, and Vanessa was involved with the back then too. So she's kind of like an original member of that. And it just, when I moved back to Maryland and our case manager at this really around the exact same time moved to Texas, she and I were kind of the heart and soul of that team. And without us, it just kind of all fell apart. I retained the name and everything. And then, anytime I would do an investigation, I would always say, yep, I'm Society of the Haunted. I'm there, that sort of thing. And And then when I met Shauna, it was just, okay, well, it's Shauna and I. We are Society of the Haunted, and sometimes we will have Vanessa remote view for us. So that's the investigation side, is really the two of us, and then sometimes Vanessa. Then we even have Enigma Underground Radio, which is it's a music station. It's hard rock and metal from the 80s on through today. We do a live show. It's been on hiatus since the summer, just because I moved, and then just everything's been crazy the last couple months. We have a live show on Thursday nights, but it streams 24/7. So there's always music playing on Enigma Underground Radio, and it's it's a bit of a paranormal themed radio station. So a lot of the stuff that's on there is kind of creepy, cool metal or what have you. There's a lot of mainstream metals thrown in there. We like to highlight and play independent bands. There's a lot of great music out there that's not getting the airtime it deserves. So we take that stuff in and we play it, and then we'll do things like we have a Haunted Friday and stuff like that we do. So then I also like to highlight, because I think it gets underscored a lot, especially in the metal industry. There's a lot of fantastic female artists that are out there. So we have a Chicks Who Wail show, which is just straight up female-fronted hard rock and metal bands. And it's phenomenal stuff. So so there's that. That's part of Haunted Road Media. There's a lot of different things that we're doing.
Where can I think my sister would enjoy, which she's asking to chat, would enjoy some of the music. Where can they find the Enigma stuff?
Yeah, you can go to it's on TuneIn. You can find Enigma Underground Radio on TuneIn. There's the Facebook page, Enigma Underground Radio. The website is enigmaunderground.com. And the website will just have links to all different kinds of play, try to play it in and stuff like that. So
if anybody has any questions, just the people that are asking, most of them know me. Actually, Mike, just send me, if you want to send me the links, I can share them out on the pages.
Okay.
Either way, ask me or I can send them out. But I know quite a few people that would like the music.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because she's asking if there's an app, but...
well, TuneIn... Yeah, TuneIn has its own app, so we don't have our own app, but
they do.
TuneIn has its own app. I mean, we do our podcast for Edge of the Rabbit Hole and Inside the Upside Down on TuneIn as well. But some of the different other players, there's a link there where you can play it through your browser, that's on your phone or on your computer or whatever. So there's a lot of different options. Here, let me dig it up.
She's on the site right now.
Okay, so yeah, she could try, and depending on your setup, your computer, your phone, whatever. One of those links somewhere should work. So you can even do this if you have an Amazon Echo. You can say, Alexa, play Enigma Underground Radio.
How many Alexas just went off?
And then boom, there we go.
Oh.
Alexa, stop.
I need one of them. It's better than a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, so, what? Hold on, I dropped my earpiece. There we go. Get it back in there. I know I'm crazy. Anyways, so what do you guys have coming up this week on Haunted Road Media?
Well, there's Friday Night Ghost Rides that we just released.
Go ahead, tell them.
Yeah. So it kind of caps off our witchy Halloween. So our Halloween special was the 217 Terror Haunted House. But what we decided to do for our live shows this Halloween was, we did all things witchy with Vanessa. So that's where we talked about different. what did we talk about? We talked about spell work and stones and what it really means to be a witch. And then we did, historic witches or inside the Upside Down. So we went into like a lot of the witch trials and stuff like that. So this video kind of caps it off. 6 witches who are now ghosts. So 6 historic witches that went through the witch trials and were condemned, convicted, and all that. Most of them executed, but they now are ghosts and haunting different areas. So that was our Friday Night Ghost Frights, which really cool. It was a lot of work to put together, and we did that whole premiere and everything, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah, that's what went on today.
I saw the Facebook Live introduction, but I've been with you. I haven't seen it yet, but I will as soon as we're done. I'm going to go check it out.
Yeah, very cool.
Who do you guys have on this week on Tuesday?
We have Stephanie Bingham coming on. She's contributed to Encounters with the Paranormal, the last 2 volumes. So, and she's had some really interesting experiences. So we're going to bring her around, talk about her different experiences. She does travel around and talk about the paranormal and all of that. So we'll have her around, talk about her experiences, kind of highlight the new book a little bit and everything. So it'll be good.
Nice. I can't wait. Tuesday. Most of the time, 8 out of 10 times, I listen to both shows on Tuesday nights. Occasionally, I fall asleep because I'm human.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I listen to both, and that's been going on, like I said, a year and a half. It's like been going on for a long time. So I'm going to give some shout-outs here because I missed a few people, and I can't go all the way back, but I'm going to do the best I can here. Of course, we had Wolf, we had Mallory come in, we had Nicole come in. And I just want to see if I can. Of course, we had Tim. Luna. Hi, Luna. Kim. Wolf. Robert White was in. Chuck Banks. Greg Renkin was in. Mallory Waddell was in. I think I said the rest during opening, but I just want to make sure. I can't go all the way back. So if I missed anybody, I am very sorry, but thank you for being in chat, and thank you for listening later. Everybody's saying good night, so.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you having me on the show, and I'm glad you have some great listeners there.
Yeah, I love my listeners. They're really good. They're good to me and supportive. So,
with some really great questions.
Yeah, I probably missed some too, so don't hold it against them. It's probably my fault. But do you want to throw anything else out there before we go? I think I almost got everything right.
It sounds like it. Yeah, there's you can always check out hauntedroadmedia.com where you can find all the books from everybody. We have the merch out there, like Ghosty and the coffee and all the t-shirts and all that stuff. So,
yes, I want a Ghosty. I'm going to get one sooner or later. And I'm going to take pictures of them everywhere in Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, Vermont. That's my goal.
There you go. That's awesome.
They're saying it's been a very good show. Interesting. Thank you for the talk about shadow people. So, see, they're good people. They know good stuff when they hear it.
Yeah, definitely good people.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hold on 1 second here. Oh, what is a Ghosty? Ghosty is the mascot. This cute little stuffed animal. And it's all over Facebook. People take pictures of them at haunted locations. And
it's a squishy. It's a squishy stress reliever. Is what it is. It's a glow in the dark squishy stress reliever. Yeah.
I thought it was a stuffed animal. All I know is I want one.
No, it's not stuffed. It's a stress reliever. So you squeeze it and it glows in the dark.
I'm gonna get one, and I might make some outfits for him. like cis paranormal, like put a little half shirt on them and stuff, but no. I don't know why I find him so cute, and I'm usually not a stuffed animal person. But he's cute, and I always joke. I'll have to send her, that's my sister asking, I'll have to send her a picture of what he is, so. But he's definitely cute, that's for sure. I love seeing him all over the place, because I've seen him all over the world.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely been all over the world.
Yeah, and I don't mean like...
people will take their selfies with Ghosty, or they'll take a scenic shot with him somewhere or what have you. And he has his own Facebook page, Ghosty. You would find it at facebook.com/GhostyHRM. And, so people will send us their pics and we'll put them up on there.
Yeah, and when I say all over the world, people, I mean all over the world. That's not just a saying. I mean, like, literally... almost all parts of the world. He's been. I've seen so many. Or replicas, but I'm pretty sure it's him.
Yeah.
Somebody sent me a song in Messenger. I'm afraid to ask, but okay. All right, Mike, hold on one second here.
For more information regarding what Paranormal Buzz Radio has to offer, visit our website, paranormalbuzzradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram.